Okay guys, I hope you didn't find the questions too challenging and that you had some fun in uninverting those sentences. And I hope as you were reading those sentences, you were thinking, this isn't quite right for business writing, this isn't quite right for legal writing. And that's the message that I want you to take away. Not only are these forms more complicated, unnecessarily complicated compared to the simpler versions, but it's simply in a lot of cases inappropriate to write in this way if you're writing legal English writing, business English writing, or other forms of professional English writing. So let's check out those questions. Not only did the witness turn up to court late, but he said the wrong thing. Okay, so I can understand the context, and you want to stress that things are going wrong, and perhaps in spoken communication that would be fine. If you're talking to a client on the phone, that's okay. But if you're writing to the client, perhaps it would be better to say, the witness turned up to court late and said the wrong thing. Maybe, keeping with the present simple, the active voice, this is the best solution. Rarely does a bill pass through Parliament so quickly as to become law in one day. Lots of language there. There's a flow. There's the da 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 da. And I've said before, when a sentence goes da 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 da, then we know that that sentence needs to be redrafted. How would we simplify this sentence? We could say, bills rarely pass through Parliament and become law in one day. So you can see there I've kept the negative adverbial. I've got no problems with rarely or scarcely or hardly. Hardly maybe is a little bit more problematic, but certainly rarely or scarcely, absolutely fine if the context is there. So bills rarely pass through Parliament and become law in one day. Once again, factual, to the point, easy to understand, and a lot less words in the sentence. Never did the company file its financial records late. Okay, I can understand the context. You're perhaps there's some emotion behind this statement. Perhaps you're defending a company. Perhaps I don't know, there's that context where you have to stand up and fight. But in oral communication, I get it. But in written communication, what would be a simpler form? The company never files its financial records late. Simple, straight to the point. It would be even very difficult to make a mistake with this simple form, but if you think about the inverted form, never did the company file its financial records late, there are a couple of complex things which are happening in that sentence, and it could go wrong. For number 4, were the agreements to be sent out to us, we could include them in the due diligence. So we've got this inverted conditional form. If the agreements were sent to us, we could include them in the due diligence. A simple change. But once again, it's appropriate to use the normal conditional, not an inverted one. Only after you receive the permit to build can you start building. So we've got this stress using only and then can to complete the sentence. So we've got separation of information in that sentence. What would be a simpler form? You must start to build only after you receive the permit to build. Okay, it almost sounds too simple, and it is simple. So keep that message simple. And you've got a change of verb. I want to highlight that as well. So hang on a second, I can see that I'm blocking the text a little bit, so I'm going to move myself out of the way and shrink myself down. Here we go. Have a look at the question number 5. Only after you receive the permit can you start building. So can I've changed to must. You must start to build only after you receive the permit to build. We can simplify this down even further. Once again, just because I've written this doesn't mean that these are the correct answers. These could also be subject to improvement, and if I thought about it, I could perhaps even make that sentence more to the point, more direct, and even simpler still.